Hello and welcome to this episode of Let's Talk with Kate O'Hanlon, the educational psychologist. And in this episode, we're looking at how to find different ways of learning. In a class recently where we were teaching programming, we'd been overloading them with bits of information, and I said, well, you now have to solve the problem, so you've been equipped with certain things. Let's think this problem through collectively, and find ways to solve this problem. And the students did engage. They actually found that very rewarding to engage.
It is.
They may not find the solution altogether, but collectively. And one of the things I've been trying to say to them is, look, I don't know everything, but I don't need to, you do.
Yeah, that's right.
And I've been taking this approach, which is quite fascinating, because the students kind of go, he doesn't know everything. I said, but it doesn't matter. I know how to get you to where you need to go, and that's the most important thing. But you need to know, not me, so you need to find ways of learning.
Yeah, and even that whole thing about, them learning together.
Yes.
The children learning together. I recommend that in an ordinary classroom, when the children are seated, they should be in mixed ability groupings.
Yes.
Often they aren't. You have the top ones over here, and then the weaker ones are over there under my eye, and the problem ones behave over here separate. But they're not actually going to make use of the third mediator in the room, which is them.
And I've actually said that to the students. Look, there's a big challenge. We've got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of ground. And I try to identify who knows what. And I said, look, you see these guys here, they've got a bit more experience.
Yeah.
Cluster around those.
That's the way.
And share the information. Start to see what you know that they can gain from. And peer-to-peer learning.
That's brilliant.
Is a fascinating way to work.
I think our stuck in the mudness about that comes from our own education, where we weren't allowed to learn from one another. We were supposed to be on our own learning and then coming up with all the answers. Whereas what I want, just that they learn. I want them to just know it. I want to understand it. I want to be able to apply it. Have the skills then from your understanding. Yes. That's all I want. I don't care how you did it.
Yeah, I think that becomes very... Yeah. I mean, one of the things it's just monitoring. I'm quite surprised how I go into a group and I start to assess everybody. Yeah. And I start to analyse how do they learn through listening to me? What are they doing to engage with me? How can I help them? Yeah. And where are things not quite working for them? And I found that... again, if I can get their interests and work out how do they learn those areas that they really are fascinated, and then if I can bolt what I want onto the side of what they're doing, because they then enjoy the process.
You're totally right. The most interesting thing in the room are the children.
Yes.
The learners. They're the ones. If you don't have a focus on them, you're going to miss something here. I also believe that. And I think I got this, I know I got it from Feuerstein, all learners are modifiable. All. And I can identify children with, what I would call cognitive dysfunction. I understand that. They have cognitive dysfunctions in different areas, but they're still modifiable. And of course, what the challenge is today is that more and more children are arriving in schools, and that is going to continue to happen.
Yes. Yeah.
But interestingly, we're also going to have, just through a biological genetic process, we're going to have really bright ones as well. Yeah. But we're going to have more children with difficulties of all sorts. Yeah. And therefore, and I'm going to say, there they are, they've got these difficulties, I think I'll give them a statement. So we'll go through code of practice and give them a statement. Again, not to be too political, but I will be, about statements. It seems to be our aim to get a statement, which is a paper document, which says this child has certain difficulties and will need extra support. In actual fact, that's almost as if that's the end of the journey. Yeah. We got him a statement. Yeah. Maybe we'll now be able to provide him with a classroom assistant, which is a good thing, a classroom assistant, but it doesn't seem to take account of the skill or knowledge of the classroom assistant.
Yeah.
Exactly how is the statement going to provide modifiability for this learner?
Yeah.
What is going to be done about him or her to follow through that belief? He is modifiable. He can learn more. He can do more. There's so many children now like that, arriving at 4-year-old who are not speaking English, who are not speaking properly. They're Irish children. Yeah. But technology has played its game.
The technology is a big issue. I mean, I'm just kind of reflecting on what you've been saying, because I know, now I've never been diagnosed with dyslexia, but I have family members who have. Yeah. And so there are traits. And one of the things I've been saying to folks is, look, hang on, I process information differently. Just give me a few moments extra just to get that bit, because I can't see what you're looking at. Yeah. I'm seeing everything here. Yeah. But we'll get there. Yeah. And I've been applying that process to students. I'm saying, look, everybody thinks the problem through differently, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong. Yeah. And I know that what I've been doing also in the classroom, I've actually deliberately been doing things wrong to get the students to correct me.
Aye, that's a great thing.
Do you know what I mean? And I said, see, I'm now learning because you've corrected me. Yeah. And that becomes a very important part of that process.
It does.
Now, you've started talking about technology, and a lot of conversations I've been having is how the technology usually is quite good, but it also has a negative impact. And how is that affecting the psychology of youngsters?
I think that technology is almost like has its own raison d'etre nowadays. Technology is a tool. Children don't see it that way, and absolutely without a doubt, several children have that kind of mentality which makes them addicted. It's an addictive personality. They, if they're exposed to it early, which really there should be a law about it, that they are not exposed early, mainly because of that worry that they will become hung up on it and addictive. Yeah. Children learn to speak the language and to start to think and all those things through human interaction, not through the computer and through technology. I know the south of Ireland was considering making a law that no child would own any device until he was 14. And in European countries, the law is they do not own their own digital device until they're 12. Okay. Now there'd be ructions here if we said that. They should not own these things. There should be more human engagement. That's the modifiability of the child, especially young. You know, at 0 to 4, he can learn as many languages as he's exposed to, but people would need to be speaking the language to him.
Yes. Yeah.
And I mean eye to eye, that type of contact. So while the technology is fine, I think we worry, he'll be technologically illiterate if I do not do it when he's 3. I'm sorry, he will not be technologically illiterate. They become quite content with their technology. It is in fact all around them all the time. I do not need to worry that he hasn't got an iPad, before he gets to school. That is ridiculous. Yeah. And it really is becoming more and more of a problem, and I think it's right there when they're arriving in primary 1. Yeah. These children whose oral language is just not where it should be.
Well, I remember getting into a lift, and coming out of the lift was a couple of young women. There was a child of about 2 in the pram, and the child was playing with a mobile.
We've no idea what we're building up there. Yeah. Doing that kind of thing. They're very good at it, become very good. Eye-hand coordination becomes good. Yeah. But other fine motor skills are delayed. Yes. So we need fine motor skill for writing, for shaping, for forming, all those things they learn primary 1. Teachers reporting the difficulties they're finding these children have. They can manipulate like this or swipe. Yeah. It is not old-fashioned to tell children stories, traditional tales, to do rhyming nursery rhymes, and to read books to them.
We have more on the way, so please subscribe to this channel and check out the link below if you'd consider becoming a patron to help us keep making more content. Thanks for watching.